Good afternoon, everyone. We're reconvening to council. Madam City Attorney, report out on closed session items.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1 to confer with legal counsel in 3 pending litigations. In the matter of Camp Carson versus City of Carson, there was no reportable action. In the matter of Tesoro versus City of Carson, there was no reportable action. In the matter of Brandy Levin versus City of Carson, there was no reportable action. The council also met pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D2 or D3 and E1, because there's a significant exposure to litigation in 3 cases. The council covered one of those 3 cases and there's no reportable action. And lastly, the council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 to confer with its labor negotiators regarding AMC PSA and AFSCME Local 809 and 1017, as well as unclassified management, and no reportable action was taken. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. And now we'll have introductions. Is our captain here? Captain Norman from the Carson Sheriff Station? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Madam Mayor. I wanted to first thank you for the appreciation barbecue that was put on by the City of Carson in recognition for my staff's efforts during the LA fires. Mayor Davis Holmes, I wanted to personally thank you for actually coming to the event and expressing your appreciation to all of our Carson deputies and professional staff. We truly appreciate your support and recognition. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for the meeting with me yesterday to discuss some upcoming projects, and I will continue to follow up on some of the things that we actually discussed. Council Member Deere, also, I appreciate seeing you yesterday as well, and we'll continue to follow up and expect for you to contact me as needed. And Councilwoman Bogatia Rojas, I appreciate seeing you today. I will move forward with doing a deep dive as far as the inquiries that you made on the traffic concerns. We had multiple notable operations that occurred during the city. During this last time, on March 6th, we had our traffic teams conducted a bicycle pedestrian enforcement operation through the city that yielded 53 stops and 50 citations. On March 11th, our traffic team conducted a DUI driving under the influence saturation operation that yielded 16 stops, 10 citations, 5 warnings, 3 stored vehicles, and 1 DUI arrest. And on some of the events that we attended during the month or the last 2 weeks have been the Battle of the Badges, which is basically a blood drive that's put on between Carson and the Red Cross right here at the community center on March 11th. Myself and my personnel attended the 2025 Women's History Month celebration down at Biscayne Training Center. March 13th, we attended the City Managers Conference in Cerritos, in which we discussed some of the upcoming technology and other things that we're doing and look forward to doing. On March 15th, we actually, myself and some personnel, attended the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executive Conference that was in the city of Long Beach. Some of the notable crimes, Part 1 crimes that we have, we're still trending downward at about 5.6% as far as Part 1 crimes. Madam, do you have any questions for me or anyone?
No, I just want to thank you for that report. Does my colleagues have any questions? Dr.
Madam Mayor?
Hilton. Dr. Hilton.
Yes, Captain. There was an accident on between Central and University, and we didn't get any update or information. I got a whole lot of updates from Facebook, but I didn't get any. Was anybody hurt, or because they had blood on the pictures, and stuff like that. And I know everybody who's on Facebook seen it because they put it in Carson 411. It's on Carsonian, but I couldn't speak to it because we didn't get any information on it. And
What we know is that it was an accident and that there was no drugs or alcohol involved as far as that collision is concerned. And my apologies for not making notification of that.
oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because everybody had questions. Did the person live or
It wasn't a
it
fatality.
wasn't fatal?
It was
Thank
an
you.
accident.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman Deere.
Thank you. A great meeting yesterday, Captain. I really appreciate your concern and your caring, and you have a lot of vision for Carson, and that's really appropriate for our city. I'm looking forward to all of us working together with you, and I really like the way you outlined a lot of good ideas that you bringing forward, new ideas, and that'll be really helpful, beneficial to our residents, and that's what it's all about. So again, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you. Is that it? Next, we have item number 6, a report from our Senior Citizen Advisory Commission. Come on down, Senior Citizen Advisory Commission.
We're old, so we're slow.
I love it.
How we go? Okay. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Lulu Davis Home,
How are you?
Mayor Pro Tem Joanne Hilton, members of the council and staff. I'm Virgie Seymour, and I chair the City of Carson Senior Citizens Advisory Commission. And before we get started, we have some handouts that we would like to share with you in the sake of time. Okay, our Senior Citizens Advisory Commission is comprised of 11 hardworking senior commissioners and 3 alternates. And we want to share with you some of our accomplishments for this past year. And this is my vice chair, Julie Ruth Raber. And I will share the accomplishments, and she will share with you our goals for the future. One thing that we did that's different this year, we established 5 subcommittees, and they are the community outreach, who is chaired by Commissioner Dunn, continuing education and enrichment, Shirley Graves, and the Stroke Center, yours truly, which is my baby, and you'll hear more from me from what we would like to see done at our Stroke Center. Each commissioner visits various senior programs. Guest speakers attend our meetings monthly. Staff assigned guest speakers to come in and address the issues as they relate to our senior programs. And I must say that we have the best staff in the world. In the world. I'm so proud of Amanda and Danny, and they're always here for us. We can even call them at home and say, we need this or we need that. That's right. There they are. And Melanie, standing up against the wall, but they are really supportive of our program. Last month, we had a fundraiser for the Stroke Center, and we raised $1,000 $210.
And
For the Stroke Center. We want you to know that the Stroke Center is near and dear to all of our hearts, as well as the mayor's, because it was under her leadership that we developed the Joseph B. O'Neill Stroke Center, and I was responsible for naming it the Joseph B. O'Neill Stroke Center. And then when she passed, I came back to her and said, can we add her name to it? So that's why it's called the Joseph B. and Marianne O'Neill Stroke Center. I'm gonna have Julie tell you about our goals.
Thank you. Good evening, all. It's nice to see all of you, always. You have before you our goals, but I'm going to go ahead and read them. We are looking forward in the future to having a dedicated senior center, senior community garden with raised vegetables and flower beds, senior cooking classes to promote nutrition and healthy eating, heated indoor pool for senior aqua exercise classes, expanded stroke center, larger space equals more members. Dedicated bingo hall, that's a very popular one. Safe walking track, indoor temperature controlled, pickleball courts, and for a while there I didn't know what a pickleball court was, so I had to check it out on the internet, and I found out what it was. Okay, senior library and reading room, senior van for local excursions, expanded senior technology center, more accessible parking spaces, more rooms for senior classes, senior fitness center and massage chairs, we earned it, and a cinema room. I realize these are long-term goals, but we're hoping that we can set them now, and maybe in the future, our future seniors will have a dream come true. Thank you, and I hope that all of you visit our meetings on the second Monday of the month at 4 o'clock. You're all welcome. We always smile when we see you come in. We saw Cedric go in there, so thank you, Cedric. Thank you.
And don't forget Mr. Whitaker.
don't forget Mr. Whitaker.
He will come and visit us, and we love him.
Yes, that's right.
I just want to piggyback a little on what Commissioner Roos-Raber said. If we can get a designated senior center, then all these things that we're looking forward to having can become a reality. You know, we're not expecting it overnight, but our outreach person and several of our commissioners visited other areas, Gardena, Inglewood, Torrance. Everybody have a designated senior center except us. Can we get one?
We're not responding.
Great idea.
We will make you guys proud. And I want to thank you for being so supportive of the things that we're doing. You never turn us down, not even when we call on you for prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Next, we're going to do proclamations. Could my colleagues join me at the podium? Councilman Hicks, Kidney Awareness Month, the mayor, Women's History, and I have a special winner here tonight, a rising star. Oh, seniors.
Yeah, they want a photo.
We'll do that right now. Come on up here, seniors. All you lovely ladies. Come on over here. Come on, seniors. Get in the middle. Don't be shy. Come on over here.
Lula, I'm not going to be able to make her a state of the city. Brian is having cataract surgery on that day.
What kind of surgery?
Brian had cataract surgery. And my eyes are totally infected.
I'll miss you. Come on, Shirley. Shirley Graves, come on in. Kind of sneak eye. Let me get a picture with just the seniors by themselves. Oh. Seniors, stay in the commission. You can't leave. Oh, you're not a senior. Excuse me. Senior Citizen Advisory Commission. Come on, ladies, look cute and act like you like each other. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful report. All of my commissions are coming out giving reports on what they're doing. Give them a round of applause. My seniors are in the house. Lovely, lovely. We'll have a proclamation from Councilman Hicks on Kidney Awareness Month.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Someone's supposed to be here from DaVita, our dialysis that's here in the city of Carson. I don't know if they're here or not. You know what, my senior commission?
Senior-
I see.
They're busy right now.
I need for you guys to come back up. Proclamation for Kidney Awareness Month. Madam Chair, come on up. Come. Yes, yes. This proclamation. A proclamation recognizing the month of March as Kidney Awareness Month. And whereas March is the National Kidney Month, 1 in 7 adults ages 18 and older in the United States has, as well as people with end-stage renal disease, need dialysis or a kidney transplant. And whereas kidney disease develops when kidneys lose their ability to remove waste and remain fluid and chemical imbalance in the body, the severity of the kidney disease depends on how well the kidneys filter waste from the blood. It can progress quickly and take many years to develop. Whereas there is little to, or any signs of chronic kidney disease, which is called CKD, that most people can even be aware of, and that they have CKD until it reaches the latter stages, including kidney failure. Whereas CKD is a serious condition affecting 37 million people. Adopting a healthy lifestyle can help you manage and slow progression of CKD and its complications. And whereas high-risk populations for CKD includes those with diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, and family history of kidney disease. Diabetes is the #1 cause of kidney disease, and high blood pressure is second leading cause. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, 1 in 3 with diabetes and 1 in 5 with high blood pressure have kidney disease. Whereas according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, African Americans are nearly 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with kidney failure compared to Caucasians. Other high-risk groups include Hispanic, Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, Native Americans, and seniors 65 and older. Whereas everyone 18 years or older with diabetes, high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, or a family history of kidney disease should be screened for kidney disease because there is often no symptoms, so laboratory tests are critical. Whereas kidney disease can be prevented or delayed through early detection and proper treatment of underlying diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure to slow additional damages to the kidneys. Also, helpful are eating plans with the right amount of sodium, fluids, and protein. Additionally, one should exercise and avoid dehydration. Treating diabetes and high blood pressure will slow additional damages to the kidneys. And now, therefore, the mayor of the City Council, the month of Carson, California, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Kidney Awareness Month to raise awareness about the importance of our kidneys to our overall health and to reduce the frequency and impact of kidney disease and its associated health problems nationwide. And by promoting Kidney Awareness Month in the community, we are assisting with education in the prevention, early detection, and management of kidney disease. Dated today, the 18th day of March, 2025, attested by our city clerk and the entire city council.
You been reading my medical record.
No, I've been reading the medical. You want to say anything?
On behalf of the city of Carson, I am accepting this proclamation. And I just told him he's been reading my medical records. I'm going to sue Kaiser.
Just the month is awareness. Things happen for a reason.
Thank you. Thank you for stepping in. Next, we have certificates for Women's History Month. And I want last week, 2 weeks ago, we recognized a lot of women, but I want to recognize the phenomenal women that work for the city of Carson. And I'm honored to take this moment to recognize them. And like I said, at our last council meeting we did, but their contributions helped to shape the policies and initiatives that improve the lives of our residents, and their leadership is an inspiration to all. It is only fitting that during Women's History Month that we take time to acknowledge and celebrate the hard-working achievements and the impact that they make every day. It is my privilege to present these proclamations in honor of the outstanding women of the Carson executive team. I wanted them to have their own day. So ladies, come on down. Sunny Saltani, Monica Cooper, our own councilwoman. Who's the other one? Our city clerk, our city treasurer, and Rita, come on down. Nora? I call Nora. Come on down here, ladies. Monica Cooper's here. Come over here. Get. I know they were sitting up there 2 weeks ago saying, well, what about us? Monica, this is yours. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to hand it to you. But these are the ladies that are on our executive team. Our own flower right here. She signed her own. But in bouquet right now. Yeah, we're bouquet. What can I say? Aren't we lovely? Yeah. In honor of Women's History Month, the City Council proudly recognizes your outstanding contributions and dedication to the city of Carson. Your leadership, your commitment, and tireless service has played a pivotal role in advancing the financial health and well-being of our city. Your unwavering commitment to excellence, empowering others, and serving as a role model for future generations exemplifies the values we celebrate this month. Your work, as your titles in here, yours says city treasurer, yours says city attorney, city clerk. It has all your titles on there, okay? Inspire and pave the way for positive change and progress, making a lasting impact on the lives of the residents and families that we serve. And that's what we do. We serve the residents here in the city of Carson. We applaud your hard work, resilience, and passion for public service. You are a public servant. Your efforts are an essential part of the vibrant fabric of the city of Carson, and we're grateful for your leadership. It's signed by your mayor, Lula Davis Holmes, our mayor pro tem, Jawan Hilton, Councilman Cedric Hicks, and Councilmember Jim Deere, and Councilwoman Arlene Bogatia Rojas. Thank you. Let's give these ladies a round of applause. This is our female executive team. So we'll do a quick photo op.
Find your window. It's okay, no worries. I'm chilling. I'm in the back. In the background. It's Women's History Month.
And thank you. All that you guys do.
Wasn't it Rising Star Competition?
I recently had the opportunity to attend the Rising Star competition here in the city of Carson. It's put on by our Human Relations Commission. And tonight, we have the honor of recognizing an exceptional young student who has already proven to be a bright and determined rising star. Dovia, how do you pronounce your last name? Davi is a proud second grader who is known for her meticulous nature, studious mindset, and caring heart. Despite not speaking until she was the age of 3, Dovi has worked hard and has shown perseverance with the help of speech therapy, has shaped her into a confident and curious young lady who loves learning and exploring. As the youngest of 5 children, she is deeply family-oriented and enjoys reading, writing stories, singing, dancing, baking, and playing with her siblings and beloved cat, Namie. Dovi is also a talented artist, a straight-A student who understands the value of hard work. She receives constant prizes from her teachers, her dedication, and excellence in the classroom. It is my pleasure to welcome someone just blew me away when she was reading her little speech, and I want her to do it tonight. Come on up here, Dovi. Let's give her a round of applause.
For your speech.
She's in the 2nd grade. You ready to read? You want me to hold your mic while you read? Okay.
Why I am a rising star. Being a rising star today is something everybody should try to be. To me, being a rising star means that a person shines bright because of their kindness and will grow up to do wonderful things to help the world. This is what I try to do each day by being nice to my family, classmates, and adults around me. My family is the most important part of my life. They help me become a rising star by teaching me how to be closer to Jesus. We go to St. Philomena Church to hear how God wants us to be to each other. At home, I help my family do our laundry. When my parents ask me to do something, I am obedient and do it. At school, I always try my best and work hard. I am very kind to my classmates. When someone gets hurt, I check on them and help them to the nurse's office. If I see that someone forgot their lunch, I offer to share my extra snacks. I am quiet and respectful when Mrs. Torres is teaching. I appreciate her how she always adds art to make the lessons fun, and she is very patient. I think my teacher is a rising star and I want to be like her. I listen to my teacher's lessons because I want to learn and one day go to college. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor to heal and help many people and find cures to illnesses we don't have yet. My extracurricular activities include playing tennis, taking piano and ukulele lessons, Hawaiian hula, and ballet dance classes. I have used my dance skills to show kindness by performing for Relay for Life, an organization for cancer survivors, played instruments and sang at the convalescence home of Marycrest Manor, and cheer up my family at home. I am a part of AHG, American Heritage Girls, and do nice things for our community. Last week, we visited the elderly and sang them Christmas carols. We practiced a lot. My favorite songs was 12 Days of Christmas. I can tell our caroling brought them lots of joy. That made me feel good. We also volunteered to clean up beaches, place wreaths at the grave of military veterans, make Christmas and thank you cards to ship to our military members who cannot come home for the holidays, and learn about women inventors of the past or rising stars. One of my favorite rising stars from the past is Mr. Larry Itleon. He was a rising star because he was kind, worked hard, cared about others, and made the working conditions for farmers better. I admire him and want to be a rising star like him when I grow up. Right now that I am a kid, I will keep being nice to everyone, listening to my teachers and parents, and working hard to grow up to be a rising star.
Wow. Second grade. Second grade. Come back here. I was so impressed when I was at that event. She's in the second grade. I told her, you're going to start writing my speeches for me. Shoot. I mean, I was just blown away. All of the students they were awesome. But I fell in love with her because look at this little size, and she's in the second grade. And I said, you need to come read this at City Council. I just thought it was perfect. So I have a certificate for you, and it's for your outstanding achievement as a winner in the 2025 Why I Am a Rising Star Essay Writing Contest. This certificate is awarded in recognition of your exceptional writing skills, creativity, and insightful reflections on what it means to be a rising star. Your deep understanding of the topic and an inspiring vision of the future, your accomplishments is a testimony to your hard work, determination, and passion. We celebrate your success and commend you for your dedication to excellence. You are excellent. You are definitely a rising star. And it's signed by all of us on the City Council. And can we take a picture with you? Next, we're going to go do oral communications, but I have someone here that wants to speak on the CDBG block grant funding. That item is going to be continued. You can still speak, though. It's item number 28, I believe. Yes. Of course. You can.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Tony Carter from the Housing Division. At this time, we'd like to introduce our consultant from RSG, Dominique Clark, to present our 5-year plan. Presentation, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Good evening. As was mentioned, my name is Dominique Clark. I'm with RSG. We're a consulting firm, and we were retained by the city to assist with the consolidated plan, which is submitted to HUD every 5 years. And I will give more information as I go through. So the consolidated plan is related to CDBG, which is Community Development Block Grants. CDBG funds are received annually from HUD, which is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And the city of Carson has been a recipient of CDBG funds since the 1970s. Every single dollar of CDBG funds have to be used either for planning and administration or for one of the 3 national objectives, which are to provide resources to benefit persons with low to moderate incomes, to prevent or eliminate blight in low to moderate income communities, or to meet urgent needs. So each jurisdiction that receives CDBG funds throughout the country, how much they receive is based on a formula that's done at the federal level that accounts for population size, poverty level in the community, as well as other demographic and economic data. HUD has not yet announced how much money each jurisdiction will receive in CDBG funds, but we are estimating that the city will receive about $660,108 for the next fiscal year, 2025 to 26. To provide some background on what a consolidated plan is, it is a planning document that's required by HUD every 5 years as a condition of continually receiving this funding. So the consolidated plan that we are presenting tonight is for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2030. And the purpose of the plan is to assist the city in determining the following needs based on data and community outreach. And the goal is once we figure out these needs, that will help us determine how to spend these funds. So those needs are shown here. It's housing and homelessness needs, economic development needs, public facilities and infrastructure needs, and community service needs. The consolidated plan, which is included as an appendix to the staff report, is a lengthy document. It includes a needs assessment, a market analysis, a strategic plan, and the first annual action plan for the next fiscal year. The consolidated plan is one report that we have to give to HUD in order to use these funds. And in that plan, we say what we're going to do over the next 5 years based on what the city's goals and priorities are. And then in addition to that, every year, the city has to submit an annual action plan that'll say what they're specifically going to do with the funds over the next year to work towards meeting those 5-year goals. And then at the end of each fiscal year, we have to submit another report called a Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, or a CAPER for short, to show what you did. So with every dollar that we spend of this, there's a lot of reporting that is required by the federal government. So we have been in the process of developing this consolidated plan since December. So in December and January, we began with community and stakeholder engagement, which is a very important part of the process. And I will go into more detail on the next slide on how we engage the community. And then on the next step of the process, after we have all that feedback, we draft the consolidated plan, which is presented tonight. And then tonight is that third step, which is the first public hearing of 2 public hearings. And in this public hearing, we're presenting the draft consolidated plan. Then starting tomorrow, we're opening a public review and comment period for the consolidated plan and the annual action plan, so that members of the community and stakeholders can provide us input on the draft. And then we'll come back to a second public hearing, tentatively scheduled on May 6, 2025, in which the City Council will consider adopting the final consolidated plan, which will be submitted to HUD within 60 days of when HUD lets us know how much money we are receiving. This next slide details how we engage the stakeholders and community. So from December 12th to January 2029, we had 2 separate surveys. One was a community survey, and we got 30 responses. The second was a stakeholder survey. And then in addition to the surveys, we also had 2 meetings. So on January 15th, we had a virtual stakeholder meeting. And then on January 27th, we had an in-person community meeting. And all of these meetings were publicized on social media. So this slide shows one of the questions that we asked on the community survey. We asked people to rank what they consider to be the top 3 needs in the community. And the top need that came up was development of affordable housing. So this graph shows that over 60% of people who took the survey ranked development of affordable housing as one of the top 3 needs. The second being economic development, the third being housing services. So based on all the feedback that we received, we are presenting 3 draft priorities. So we're saying that over the next 5 years, we think that the money should be spent on these 3 goals. The first being affordable housing. So our goal here would be to assist in increasing and preserving access to high quality affordable housing by investing in property rehabilitation. The second priority would be community services, and that would be expanding essential community services for vulnerable populations, including seniors, youth, and individuals with special needs. And the third priority would be fair housing services, and that would be broadening fair housing education by raising awareness of rights, fostering inclusivity, and eliminating barriers to access. So this slide shows the 3 different categories of funding that is being proposed. So only 15%, you're not allowed to spend more than 15% of the money that you received each year on public services. So that would cap public services at the amount shown here, $99,016. And that's for programs that are assisting specific populations, as well as services for low-income Carson households. Secondly, you can spend up to 20% on program administration, so that amount would be about $132,000. And then the remaining money can be spent on physical development activities. So that's where the bulk of the money goes, and that's $429,000. And that would go towards the Neighborhood Pride program and services related to that, including lead, asbestos, and radon testing and inspection services. So the city issued a request for proposals on January 14th and allowed organizations to submit proposals for spending the funds. And they had to respond by February 3rd, 2025. And so this slide shows the 4 organizations that responded to the proposal. So we got 2 from Fair Housing Services Providers, Fair Housing Foundation, and the Housing Rights Center, as well as the Boys and Girls Club of Carson and the Venice Family Clinic. So what staff is recommending is that we fund the Boys and Girls Club of Carson and the Venice Family Clinic, exactly what they requested. And then for fair housing, we got 2 proposals, but they're providing duplicative services. So we're recommending that we go with the Housing Rights Center, which offers more services, including walk-in clinics and legal assistance, and to provide them the amount that they requested. So as I mentioned, tomorrow we'll start a 30-day public review and comment period. So that will go from March 19th to April 21st. There are 3 documents that are under review: the draft consolidated plan, the draft annual action plan, and the draft amended citizen participation plan. This slide shows how to review the documents. They're on the city's website at this link, and people are also welcome to come to the City of Carson Housing Division to see a hard copy. And they must submit comments by April 21st, 2025. So with that, this slide shows the recommended actions for City Council, which includes opening the public hearing, taking public testimony, and then continuing the public hearing until May 6, 2025, when we will present the updated consolidated plan and other documents based on the feedback received. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. I should have opened the public hearing. Madam City Clerk, was it properly posted? And
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, a notice of public hearing has been given pursuant to the applicable law, including but not limited to the proof of timely publication received by myself. The agenda posting requirements were met for the individual and the organizations. The posting affidavits are on file in the city clerk's office, and we didn't receive any written communication for this item.
thank you. We're going to close the public hearing, and this item is going to be continued until April.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Are you continuing it?
Yes.
So we won't close it.
Oh, we're going to continue it. So what date?
May 6th.
May 6th.
May 6th for the long term on the public hearing, but I believe the council may reconsider some of the proposals from staff at
Yes.
the next meeting on April 1st.
Okay. So we'll continue it until April 1st for council.
The public hearing will remain open until May, but the council may reconsider the public
Until May.
service components next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that report. We are continuing this item. Yes, Councilman, Dr. Hilton.
Yes, I had a question. With all of these funding cuts that's going on in the world right now, how sure are we going to get the HUD money?
That's a very good question. So as of now, HUD has not spoken on the matter. So we are just going to continue forward as we always do until we're told otherwise. But we have to wait until we're told exactly how much we're going to receive before we can submit our final plans to HUD.
Okay, I just wanted to put that on the record so we could be transparent to all of these organizations that may be anticipating these funds, that there's still some layer that we're unsure of ourselves.
Yes.
So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank
you
you
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To the city manager, to the staff, quick question. In regards to the funds, I know we're waiting for those funds to be allocated through the federal government. Of the funds that we have currently in our coffers, if they're not all expended, are there any provisions for that to be rolled over to the next fiscal year? How that process can be worked?
Yes, the funds that we are not expended this year will roll over to next year.
Okay,
And
thank you.
in the percentages that were allocated for 2024, 2025.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I have a question as well. It's either for staff or the consultants. If Elon Musk has his way, we may have zero money from HUD for these programs. That's a possibility. Maybe you could help work with the staff to identify some of the programs that we could fund from other sources, because we may have to go to other sources to help some of these organizations. They do great work in the city of Carson. So maybe the city manager could work with the consultant, and council members can be informed if we do get to that point, we have some options instead of being caught off guard.
We are currently working with the grant writer to access other funds that are available through the state. Deborah can speak on it.
I just think that we need to be prepared just in case.
Yes, we are going to be prepared. We have applied for the Cal Home Grant, which we will be utilizing that grant to assist mobile home parks. And we also are going to apply for the home grant, which we will be utilizing those funds to possibly assist people with first-time home buyer. And we also have the PLHA funds that are going to be utilized for first-time home buyer program also.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank Councilman Hicks for his support and effort to get the constituents out to our community meetings. And also I want to thank Arlene Rojas for your support and your efforts. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Okay. I'm going to take the prerogative to move up because I'm looking at these speaker cards, and most of the people here tonight are to speak on item number 30, which is the second reading of an ordinance. Madam Clerk, we're going to allow 20, listen to me very carefully. We're going to allow 20 minutes on this item. I have 39 items to attend to, and I have 30 speaker cards here. And once that 20 minutes is up, we will cut off debate. I also want to employ tonight the rule that says a council person can only speak 5 minutes on this item. Do we need to be refreshed? Madam City Clerk, refresh attorney. Refresh my colleagues. Oh, the consultant is here? Oh, no. Oh, okay, before we get to 30, I have the broadband, item number 17. Are you here? Our consultant is here. Sonny, be prepared to read that ordinance. Which limit, yeah. No.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 17 is to consider an award of a construction contract to HP Communications Incorporated for project number 1797, citywide municipal fiber optic network utility undergrounding and excavation construction phase 1. This project that's included in the fiscal year 2024-25 CIP capital improvement program. This project is the first phase of the citywide network and includes constructing a fiber network backbone in the public right-of-way on Avalon Boulevard and several city streets required to connect City Hall, City Yards facility, and 12 city parks. The 12 city parks that will connect to the fiber network include Anderson, Callis, Carriage Crest, Carson, Del Amo, Dolphin, Dominguez, Foycia, Mills, Memorial Park, Hemingway, Stevenson, and Veterans Park. The Phase 1 Fiber Network Backbone Project will enhance broadband for city operations to provide business continuity, supporting a resilient community, improve the city's free Wi-Fi services to residents at city parks, deliver a robust network for the city's public safety cameras, and support the network capacity required for live streaming global events, such as the 2026 World Cup and 2028 Olympic events that we will have in the city. Staff is seeking City Council's approval to award a construction contract to HP Communications for this particular project. At this time, our Director of Information Technology, Mr. Gary Carter, is going to provide a brief presentation in regards to the citywide municipal fiber optic network.
Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Rojas, Councilmember Hicks, Councilmember Deere. As you know, the digital divide continues to impact cities across the U.S., compounding inequities in education, health, economic opportunity, and leisure. And this council, Good Works, set forth a vision and strategy of self-reliance, building a best-of-class executive team with our visionary city manager, Assistant City Manager Dr. Lennox. We have a finance director who previously worked for Global Telecom. I want to recognize our Energy and Sustainability Officer who had worked with Councilmember Hicks early to get the first mile of fiber in the city, as well as our Public Works Director who's endeavoring to pave every street all at the same time. All of these items, as well as the developments that our planning and community development directors are working on, are a constellation of expertise that makes us feel confident to move forward with this fiber optic network project, including myself with experience leading one of the few municipal broadband networks that were actually profitable. As we move forward, I will lead our fiber team to move forward with a sense of urgency, expediting our progress to close our digital divide. City of Carson is among the most deserving and qualified among any other city in California to obtain a California Public Utilities Commission federal funding account grant based upon the number of unserved residents and our ability to successfully complete our project. We currently have a $8.19 million grant application outstanding, pending final review and award, with the final applications for awards during California's fiscal year 2027 to 28 state budget. Yet we move forward today. And with that, I begin my presentation to discuss the project scope of work. Primarily, we will utilize horizontal directional boring. So boring 4-inch conduits throughout the route to accommodate current and future needs. We will utilize open trench methods for part of the route. And as we move forward and access and excavate some of these areas, we may decide to use one versus the other based upon what's actually inside the route. We will install up to 254 fiber volts within the ground pole boxes to house loops of fiber cable for current and needs when we start to provide fiber to the different residential and commercial buildings. Obviously, the contractor, HP Communications, will manage traffic flow with road signs, detours, flagging, attach conduits to some of the bridges we have in the city, which will be different. Obviously, it'll have the bridge attachment that they'll utilize those methods, and provide all the fiber optic cables, conduits, volts, up to 120,000 linear feet for the cables. HP Communications, Inc., it's a qualified vendor, over 26 years of experience. I'll bring them up after my presentation to talk more, but they've worked on all the major telecom carrier networks: Lumen, Verizon, AT&T, Ting, Race Communications, which is used by the South Bay COG. They've actually worked on that project. Culver City, City of Ontario, City of Santa Monica, which I had the pleasure of working with them myself in the past. West Hollywood they're currently working on a fiber to the home project there. So the total project cost is not to exceed $919,708.50. The project is expected to be completed 12 months from our notice to proceed to the vendor. Their comparable projects that they offered was a Caltrans project that they're wrapping up in May along the 405 freeway, Culver City, and City of West Hollywood that are comparable projects. As you'll see by the location map, our network expands throughout every district. We wanted to make sure, even in phase one, we cover every single district, covering every single major park, as well as City Hall and the community center. And with that, I conclude my presentation and open up for questions. I can bring up the vendor if you have questions for them, but I'll take questions if you have any of me first.
Thank you. Yeah, could you tell us, Gary, the timeline for completion? You're doing it obviously in phases because of various reasons, but when would the people of Carson see a very expansive and inclusive network?
So phase one will provide direct benefits to the city, to those that are attending the parks in preparation for the World Cup and the Olympics. We'll be prepared for both of those, for any demands there for event-related, as well as we will be able to get rid of some circuits that aren't meeting the current city's needs in those parts that are utilized for our Wi-Fi, our free Wi-Fi program. So we'll be limited our capacity for that. So even with this first phase, the city will have, the residents will have direct benefits. As a part of, if the question is related to when will residents get service, that will be a later phase that will be funded. And because at that point, the reason why we would delay it, at that point, we have to operate the network 24/7. At the same time, we're continuing to build out. So this is a recommended strategy. And at some point, we will initiate services in probably phase two or phase three. But phase one will be completed within 12 months. So anyone visiting any of the city locations, city parks, will benefit within 12 months from our notice of completion.
So you anticipate 3 phases for
it? Really, so we can adjust based upon the funding. So really, it's a matter of smoothing the funding of the infrastructure. We could only have 2 phases if that's the case, but I think with all the other projects and construction we have on, prudent approach would probably be at least 4 phases. Even if we had the funds, we would want to make sure that but again, we can take council's direction. We can have just 1 phase, and at the end of the day, once we complete the backbone and go down every street, we still have to install the fiber in each residence, and so that's going to take a while. And I'm not including that in that's the final phase, right? So, but that's actually pretty quick and easy to do. It's less invasive once we're in front of every home and business.
I see. Okay, thank you. I also want to thank you and your staff and the city manager and his staff for putting a lot of thought into this. And we're really advocating bringing Carson up to the technological advancement that we should be. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Dew.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, Madam Mayor. I see Cedric is queued up. I was queued up as well. Was you queued up, Cedric? I was queued up first.
Oh. Well, you
Second the
were,
motion.
Dr. Hilton.
Oh, I just wanted to say how incredibly grateful I am for you for getting us and deleting the digital divide in our community. Last night, I was at Stevenson Park, and I was able to get work done in the car while the children were at practice. So this has exceeded our expectations. I don't think, not me, but I don't think this council has to ask the consultant anything. You're the professional. And when we've been trying to get Wi-Fi in Carson since I got on the city council, and some other people told us it was going to take years to build this out and years to build this out. And you come in 1 year and all of our parks have Wi-Fi, all of our parks, we are accessing the digital age. I think I would hope, and I'll yield to Councilman Hicks, but I would hope we would just go ahead and just approve your motion, trust your judgment, because we've had IT in place for quite some time, and it had been working like it was one of those old first Apple computers, or they used to call it Doji, or when they used to have the floppy disk. We have moved from floppy disk to the digital age, and I'm incredibly grateful for you, your team, and what they're doing in Carson. And I believe the people are grateful because children can do their homework in the park, people who cannot afford quality internet at home can go sit in the park and do their homework. So thank you. I'll yield to Cedric, but I will second that motion if someone made that motion.
Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, MPT. To the staff, to you guys, this has been something I've been working toward when I was an actual employee and working as Director of Community Services. To Rita, thank you for just being in part of the process. Even being the past chair of the South Bay COG and making sure I got those funds coming somewhere to this city to make sure we have the ability to get this on board. When we had the pandemic, I was real concerned that many of our students could not get connected to the internet because they did not have that connectability. Everybody doesn't have the money to have internet at home. That is something that people need to understand, that people don't have computers. You may have your phone, but a child cannot do their homework off of a phone. Mm-hmm. So these are things that I know that I am really pleased and happy that we are here at phase 1. I know phase 2 may be blended in with phase 3, so we don't maybe only have 2 phases at some point in time. I know that through our Public Works Department, we're trying to make sure we put in our sidewalks. If we don't tear them up a second time, we do it one time, one and done. So it's the coordination of all of these moving parts that need to be done to make sure we get this in place like it needs to be. And I'm real pleased through the city manager, outstanding staff, but I'm still waiting for my new website. But that's a sidebar. But
it's coming, Councilman Riggs. It's coming.
It's coming. Okay.
It's right around the corner.
Thursday.
Thank you. Make a recommendation to award a contract, a construction contract for project number 1797, Citywide Municipal Fiber Optic Network Phase 1. Not to exceed the amount of $26,919,708.50 to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, HP Communications, Inc., and 2, to authorize the mayor to execute the contract with HP Communications, Inc. after approval as to form by the city attorney.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Councilwoman, you had a comment?
I was just going to comment that Councilman or Mayor Pro Tem, you weren't born when we had floppy disk and dial-ups. How do you know about that?
He read about it in a book.
He's a reader.
Congratulations. Thank you. The hard work.
It's been moved and properly second. Please cast your vote.
The vote is unanimous, Madam Mayor. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Gary.
If I can call up just quickly, just have my team come up, and I don't know if HP, Ahmad, did you want to say a few words? Yeah. First, our senior IT project support analyst just joined, Jamila Haji, come on. She's a graduate of CSUN. MPT just missed that. And as well as my alma mater, the Drucker School of Management. She received her MBA there. You want to say a few words real quick?
Thank you, everyone. Very excited to be here. It is actually week 3 here at the City of Carson, so very fortunate to be a part of this incredible experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
If Hector Ramirez is here, our IT manager, I'm not sure if he's here or not. He's in the AV room, I believe. But HP, Ahmad Olami, he is the Executive Vice President of HP Communications.
Hector's behind you. Garrett, Hector's behind you.
Oh, 1 second.
How's it going, everyone?
Hector?
Hector Ramirez, IT Manager. I just want to thank you. Thank you for getting this passed. And as a resident, I'm stoked to finally get this network going. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Thank you. There you go.
Good evening, Mayor Davis Holmes, members of the City Council, and members of the community. My name is Ahmed Alomi, and I'm the Executive VP of HP Communications. Our company is a full turnkey telecommunications construction company founded in 1998 on the principles of brotherhood, service, and excellence. We started with a handful of individuals out of the owner's living room in Lake Elsinore, and over the past 27 years, we've been blessed to grow to over 650 employees with offices throughout California, as well as Texas, Tennessee, Florida, Hawaii, and most recently in Guam. On behalf of all our 650 team members, I would like to sincerely thank you for considering us as part of the City of Carson's citywide municipal fiber optic network project. Our company has been involved in a number of major fiber infrastructure builds for telecom carriers such as AT&T, Verizon, Lumen, T-Mobile, as well as many local, state, and federal agencies. While we greatly appreciate all the opportunities that are afforded to us, the ones for the municipalities are the most fulfilling because they allow us to see firsthand the immense impact of delivering fiber connectivity to the local communities. Again, we're grateful for the opportunity to bring the city to being the city's construction partner, and we'll work tirelessly to make sure that the project's a success for all the stakeholders. Thank you.
I heard while I went in back, a fellow Matador has joined the staff. That's how we get things done. They always touting this Toro stuff, Matadors.
Okay, thank you. As I mentioned earlier, I have more than this. I'm going to move up item number 30. We're only going to be on that item for 20 minutes. So once we reach the 20-minute mark, Madam City Clerk, with the first speaker, and I do want to make sure that we implement and read the ordinance that's going to be followed tonight. Madam City Attorney.
The mayor is speaking about the council rule that after a motion is made and a second, that the debate will be 5 minutes in the aggregate for each council person. So, Madam City Clerk, you have to keep track of that time.
Thank you.
Noted. Thank you, Madam
So
City
noted.
Attorney. Madam Mayor, just for a point of clarification, do you want a running timer for 20 minutes?
No, it'll be 1 minute per speaker.
Got it.
I'm going to try to get at least 20 of them up.
Okay.
Okay. The first speaker.
Madam Mayor, I have a point of parliamentary procedure. The 5-minute rule has to do with the speaking of the elected official on the dais. It does not count the time someone's answering a question, because if I ask a question that takes 10 seconds to ask, and the person takes 4 minutes and 5 minutes to answer it, my time's not up. I want that clear. Thank you.
Okay. We're not
Thank
gonna-
you.
Okay. Once a motion is made, Madam Attorney?
Yes, if the motion, even if the motion is made, if a council person asks the question, the amount of time it takes them to ask the question does count towards their time, but the amount of time it takes staff to respond doesn't get counted towards
Okay,
that.
who's asking the questions, may I ask?
I mean, we don't have, I think, Councilman, you're saying hypothetically, if a question is asked,
Okay.
staff can't take like 5 minutes and respond and then say this person's time is up. I think that's the point that's being made.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, the reason I bring that up is in the past, a member of the city council would ask a question of staff.
Okay.
The staff would take, 4 or 5 minutes to answer it because it's a detailed answer. And then you would say, your time's up. And that's ridiculous. That's
It's only when
nonsense.
JR responds that it takes 4 to 5 minutes, so.
Not JR, not Rachel.
Well, the council will be asking staff's questions, so I just wanted to clarify that.
All right.
And
Thank you
Madam
very
City
much.
Clerk, if he asks a question, the clock stops.
Yes.
One staff person may respond.
Yes, the last meeting I got a lot of practice. I'm like running a JV basketball game
Okay.
over here. But just as a point of clarification or order, the technological advances are great with our software. However, it only allows for one timer at a time, and that's the timer there. So myself, the Chief Deputy City Clerk, will have additional timers on our phones that unfortunately you all cannot see. But if someone speaks here and then the councils, we got clocks for the council, we've got clocks for speakers. So I just want everyone to be aware there's only one clock that you'll be able to see, and unfortunately I can only run one at a time. I know we're doing a citywide fiber optic. Maybe next time I can get 2 clocks, Director Carter. We'll see. So.
Well, to each speaker that I call, you have 1 minute to speak, and our city clerk will let you know when that minute is up. And then after you speak, we'll move on from that point. So the first speaker is Pastor, and if you've been turning your cards late, you probably will not get a chance to speak tonight.
Madam Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'd like to bring your attention to the 3rd page of our agenda published to the public. And on the 3rd page in the center, it says oral communications for matters listed on the agenda, members of the public, limited to 1 hour. I won't read the whole paragraph, but the last sentence clearly states, speakers are limited to no more than 3 minutes speaking once. Oral communications will be limited to 1 hour unless extended by order of the mayor with approval of the city council. It doesn't say unless reduced. It says, so why are we publishing this to the public and then telling the public what we're publishing is not what we're going to follow? That does not make sense.
It's
Thank
on
you.
this
That's
one
my question.
item. It's on this one item. All communications, because I have other cards up here that people want to speak. So we're not going to spend one item, 30 minutes or hour on one item. I have other speaking cards. This session for this one item will be limited to 20 minutes. Then we will have oral communications from other speakers on other items.
For 40 minutes?
Whatever. So that's the rule for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's move.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Just so you know, in the pre-recording, it does say for a large amount of speakers, the time can be reduced at your discretion.
Thank you very much. It can be reduced at my discretion. My discretion is 20 minutes for this item. Okay? Thank you. Pastor Tom Alexander.
Good evening, Mr. Alexander. You have 1 minute.
And the good services that are offered by the nonprofit. If the nonprofits were not able to do that, the city would have to do it at considerable cost. And finances is very important to the nonprofits to carry out our purposes. The city of Carson has been blessed. They've had very good finances, and they've been able to have a large surplus to carry over from year to year. But the nonprofits themselves depend upon excellent projects such as the fireworks have been. And we hope that the city council will be considerate of us in carrying out our missions also, and not remove from us the opportunity to gain the finances by the sale of the Safe and Sane fireworks. I know there have been things in Altadena, but they didn't result from Safe and Sane fireworks. And I don't think we should use that opportunity to cut out a very important source of income to us. So that's my statement.
Thank you. Virgil Tolentino. Virgil.
You have 1 minute, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I stand before you to urge you to vote no on the proposed ban of safe and sane fireworks. Our nonprofit organization relies on fireworks sales to provide scholarships, senior citizen programs, and many more. Banning safe and sane fireworks would significantly impact our ability to continue this important work. Let me also say that the needs of the community will be around much longer than most of you, for whatever reasons, will be sitting on those chairs. We need our nonprofits to continue to sustain those needs from the sale of safe and sane fireworks. Additionally, we strongly believe that this decision should be left to the residents of Carson City. Please allow the community to vote and have a direct say
That's 1 minute,
in
Madam
this
Mayor.
important
Your time
matter.
is up, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alan Gutierrez. Alan? John Morgan.
Good evening, Mr. Morgan.
I'd
You have 1
just
minute.
like to let everybody know that I'm against the ban. I think we should be able to do our best with selling fireworks. I'd like to introduce my grand knight.
Just a second. Let me, we have a couple of cards here. You're finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will call up the next speaker. Thank you. Renee Dos Santos.
Hi, good evening, and I would like to defer my talk, and I would like my grand knight to speak for the.
Do you have, you want to yield your time? Do you have 5 people you want to stand? And we can give you 3 minutes.
Stand up, please.
And if you stand, you can't speak. If you stand, you will not be able to speak. Okay, come on. You have 3 minutes.
1 moment, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor,
Hi.
ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Dan Guzman. I live in Carson, and I'm also the Grand Knight of the Knights of Columbus who reside here in Carson. Our ask tonight to this council is to grant the opportunity for the citizens of Carson to vote on this matter, which is so important, crucial, and especially since it has the potential of adversely affecting so many members of our community. We elected you to be our representatives, and as such, we expect that your decisions reflect the will of the people, and not like it has become common across our nation, where leaders are imposing the will on the people. I'd like to thank you for your consideration, your time, and I'd like to restate that we oppose Ordinance 30. Thank you.
You have 2 more minutes. That's it? Okay, thank you. Mike Wilson.
Good evening, sir. You have 1 minute.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. I'm Mike Wilson, Public Safety Commissioner for our city, also retired fire captain for LA County Fire. I support the ban of the sale and usage of all fireworks in our city. No fireworks, legal or otherwise, are intrinsically safe. Their level of danger varies with the user and the conditions of usage that exist. All personal use of fireworks are banned in all unincorporated areas of LA County and in an increasing number of municipalities throughout the county. We found that cities where all fireworks were illegal, 911 EMS and fire calls and injuries were significantly lower than in cities where safe and sane fireworks were allowed. We also found that cities where fireworks were legal.
Madam Mayor, that's 1 minute.
That's your 1 minute. Oh, I'm sorry. He has his people standing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
3. You have 1, 2, 3,
need
4,
five.
5. He has 5.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
We also found that cities where fireworks were legal attracted illegal firework vendors and users as well. Illegal users and vendors were and are hiding in plain sight at block parties, in backyards, on our streets. Our Carson Sheriff Lieutenant and the Lomita Sheriff Lieutenant compared 2023 July 4th illegal firework call statistics. Lomita, where fireworks were already illegal, had only 5 illegal firework calls. They had only 5 illegal firework calls where all fireworks were illegal. Our city, Carson, had 145 illegal firework calls in that same year, 2023. Similar patterns and statistics are reflected throughout LA County, and I am pleased that Carson is banning the sale and usage of all fireworks within our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Cordero.
I was with the Knights of Columbus.
Oh, you were with Knights? Okay.
Yeah. But can I speak really quick, though?
I'm going to let you speak really quick.
Thank you. I appreciate it, madam. Just really quick, I understand that the safe and sane fireworks are going to be banned, but we urge you not to take that. We need that money from the sales of the fireworks to support our church, my kids' schools, and all the ministries in our community. But also, even if you did ban it, those illegal fireworks can still fire off, and it will not stop anything. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tala? Tala. T-A-L-A.
Good evening. You have 1 minute.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. So we've been in existence, our nonprofit, for over 40 years. We've been having the fireworks opportunity for over 25 years. That's more than half of our life in the city. It's been a great fundraising to help the community, feeding, giving out free turkey feeding every year, or most of the time, helping the church in improving our facilities. It's been a great opportunity. I don't think it's fair to have this huge recent devastating fire and also this illegal fireworks, which is not what we sell in our booths, because that's not what we do here in the city. But I think it's unfair to measure us to that in the opportunity that the nonprofits have for the many years that we have been serving this community through the fireworks booth. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this Nan and Guzman?
I spoke, ma'am.
Oh, you did? Okay. Stacy Mungo. Stacy?
Good evening, ma'am. You have 1 minute.
Good evening, Mayor and honorable council members. My background with fireworks ranges from patrolling as a deputy sheriff in the city of Carson on the 4th of July to selling fireworks at a YMCA stand, raising money for youth programs, 8 years as an elected official, and as a national trainer for the procedural justice grant began by the Obama administration. I was indifferent about safe and sane fireworks until I saw the data related to the illegal use of illegal fireworks when safe and sane fireworks are implemented. But most importantly, today I want to share how my relationships with police and sheriff agencies up and down the state of California have really given me the opportunity to crack the code on how people have cracked down on the bad actors. I hope tonight you will amend your item to adopt AB 1403. Use the $40,000 to $50,000 of additional revenue that your city would get and implement a strict drone program. I've already been in touch with Motorola, and cities that adopt AB
Madam Mayor, that's 1
1403
minute.
would be eligible to use their funding
Get the
this
money
year.
up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stacy, you from Long Beach?
Yes, I came straight from the Women's History Council meeting tonight. Yes.
Oh, you're a councilwoman in Long Beach?
Yes.
Okay.
Former.
Former?
I did 8 years.
Okay, thank you.
And then there was term limits, but now they've changed it, so you never know. I could run again.
John Schober, Pastor. Pastor John? I just saw you. Oh, there you are.
Hi, Pastor Schober. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Lula.
Hi there.
Just 4 things real quick is that getting rid of the safe and sane fireworks only leaves the insane fireworks. And we don't want that to happen. 3 things that I believe that having safe and sane fireworks is that it allows the families to come together and celebrate something bigger than themselves, which is our Independence Day. Secondly, it's something for the community to do bigger for the community as they sell fireworks. When people come to our stand, we minister to them. And as a matter of fact, this one young man had Parkinson's and he came to the firework. We were able to pray for him and he's accepted Jesus. The third thing is that we feed over 800 families each week with the finances that we get from the fireworks. And so it's always doing something bigger than who we are. And we appreciate the opportunity to minister to the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Carol Domingo. Carol?
Good evening, Carol. You have 1 minute.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I don't support the fireworks ban, and I'll list my reasons in less than a minute, I hope. First, the city of Carson gets revenue from these stands, and at this time, multiple streams of revenue is very important to our city. Second, it allows a venue for fundraising for schools and small businesses. And second, it may open a door to illegal fireworks if the safe and sane fireworks are banned. And third of all, our residents benefit from the money coming in from the nonprofits, from the small businesses that fosters all of these stands. And perhaps some of that revenue can go towards our senior center that these ladies envision. So that would be very beneficial, keeping the revenue stream open.
Thank you. Faye Coons. Five minutes ago.
I'm the president of the Philippine Action Group for Environment. We are an environment group, but we support safe and sane fireworks because as an environment group, we really have guidelines. Guidelines once you work with safe and sane fireworks. Secondly, we always clean our block as soon as the fireworks. It's just one day. Thirdly, I'm sure you know about the Dominguez channel that already had a problem last time. That monitoring of the Dominguez channel is one of our projects. Please do not ban fireworks in Carson. Thank you.
Thank you. Dennis Luzon. Dennis? You stood with the other group? Did you stand with the other group? Okay. That was, no, not this time. We have 5 minutes left. I want to get in other people that hadn't had a chance to speak. Valerie George, did you stand before?
Can I have my people come in and stand? Hi, Mayor and Council.
Hi.
I just want to make a few points.
I'm giving her 3 minutes, Madam Mayor.
Yeah, did someone stand? Well, you have 5, that's good, go on.
Oh, they're standing, I'll speak.
Okay.
First, I wanted to just clear a few things. I'll acknowledge the fires. You know, first the Hearst fire started, and that was Southern California Edison's fault. Palisades fire, that was arson. None of it had to do with safe and sane fireworks. Second, illegal fireworks, we're against it, period. Because we already know what it does to our kids and even to us. One of the things that we were hoping was that you would meet with TNT Fireworks. They're the vendor that has the majority. If there was an issue and we needed more help, whether it's on the street or for the residents, why not ask them? Because we didn't give them a time or even a meeting where they can come in and help. Just like you guys have developers, and Mayor, you know this, same with council. When they come in and they give you something, you don't always accept it. But when they come back and they heard what you say, you listen. For us, when it comes to safe and sane fireworks, it's nothing personal when it comes to anything else. These are facts. And then when they come back to try to work things out, that's what we're asking. We feel we're just being cut off. That's it. That's the way we feel. The community benefits from everything. I'm guaranteed that every single one of you said, it's all about the residents. It's all about the community. That's exactly what we're doing. The majority of people here stay here. We represent the community. Just like they said, we're the ones that elected you. We're making sure that we do our part. Yeah, but we want you to make sure that you answer us. We're not doing anything. We work the stands. We're the ones doing all the work. We pay for everything. It says it takes the village to raise a child, right? It takes a community to raise generations. You see 4 generations, and if all the nonprofits stood up, it would be 6 generations benefiting from all the nonprofits that are going on. That's what I have.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, that's 20 minutes.
Okay, I have one more speaker and one more each that didn't speak. Diane Thomas. And George, are you here?
Good evening, Ms. Thomas. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to thank Councilmember Rojas and Councilmember Hicks for statistics. Statistics don't lie. We can be all emotional all we want. It only takes a spark. Those who are not here to hear those statistics, or if you were here, know that Councilmember Rojas shared it, whether it started by Edison or whomever it started, sparks flew. Sparks created the disaster that we have witnessed with the fires that we have witnessed. I want to thank those of you on the council who stood strong in the face of adversity to recognize the facts and vote to ban this from our city. Continue to stand strong, and I'll ask you to start a discussion, a community, a committee, and I will avail myself to help these nonprofits to learn how to raise other funds
Madam
to
Mayor,
take the
that's 1
place
minute.
of what they've lost. Thank you.
Did Mr. Okay, we have 5 more cards. Alan Gutierrez, are you here? Okay, I was going over. Okay. No, I was looking for him. Okay. Hi, is that Gutierrez? Oh, come on.
He was saying he stood up, Madam
Oh,
Mayor.
he stood up all right. Okay, I'm sorry. I got you. Thank you. Um, first,
Madam, I have a question. I'd like to ask a question of someone in the audience. Would you mind?
after I make my motion, you can.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. First of all, let me say this.
Don't worry, Brian, it's not you.
I emphasize with all the nonprofits. However, Carson residents must weigh the cost of tradition against the value of safety. If a fireworks ban protects lives and preserves communities and the environment, then the true challenge is not what is lost, but how we empower nonprofits to thrive through new fundraising efforts. If a fireworks ban protects lives and preserves the community and the environment, then the true challenge is not what is lost, but how we empower nonprofits to thrive to new sustainable means without the risk of life, property, and limb. And with that thought in mind, I hear you, I understand what you're saying, but sometimes I've told everyone, you have to make tough decisions. I often say that I was called to serve at a time such as this. If you read Esther, she had to make tough decisions, and it didn't always come out the way our residents want. But most of the things that I do are for the residents here in the city of Carson. And therefore, my recommendation, we conducted the second reading to adopt ordinance number 2507, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Carson, California, amending Section 3101 fireworks, 3101.8 storage of fireworks, and 3101.10 violations of firework regulations. Chapter 1, firework prevention of Article 3, public safety, the Carson Municipal Code, and repealing Section 3101.1 fireworks, sale permit required, 3101.2 persons eligible, 3101.3 application requirements, 3101.4 issuance of permit, 3101.5 general provisions, 3101.6 regulations for temporary stands, and 3101.7 wholesale permit to chapter fire prevention of Article 3 public safety, the Carson Municipal Code, to prohibit the sale and use and discharge of all fireworks in the city of Carson, except by permitted public displays such as those which the Home Dignity has already said they will allow all of us to come up, and they have a fireworks show that's going to be presented. All Carson residents will come there free of charge to watch a controlled environment where fireworks are. And also, as was stated earlier, we need to work with our nonprofits to come up with other ways to generate revenue. As I looked at the reports, I think not all of you worked 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, and some stands came away with $6,000. So that is my motion. I'll entertain a second.
Madam Mayor, I just want to make a quick statement. I heard the comments that were made this evening. What I heard resonate from all of the people who came in saying don't ban is that it was profits over safety. I didn't hear anybody talk about the family and how the families are affected behind the fire of the fireworks, the sparks, and I said it before. A fire is a fire, no matter if it's illegal or legal, and a spark is a spark, no matter what you light. And now, we had a person that's with the fire department that showed that when you ban fireworks, you are able to look at the illegal ones, and in fact, the illegal ones were reduced because there was no fireworks in the city. There are 26 cities, 26 that have banned fireworks, and one is Long Beach. I think, where's Stacy? She's still here? Where she was the council person? So even that city has banned fireworks, but I think they're working on something. But right now, at this point in time, it's still banned today. So with the city of Artesia, Alhambra, Azusa, Commerce, Cudahy, Downey, El Monte, Hawaiian Gardens, Hawthorne, Huntington Park, City of Industry, Inglewood, Irwindale, La Mirada, La Puente, Lakewood, Lawndale, Linwood, Maywood, Monterey Park, Norwalk, Palmdale, Paramount, Pico Rivera, LA County Area Unincorporated. These cities have banned all fireworks in their communities, and I'm saying the city of Carson should not have the problem. But there was a question asked. I would hope that someone would go and actually talk to TNT. I don't know if my colleagues did, but I know I did. I had a Zoom meeting with AT&T and the entire administration, and we had a conversation regarding this. There were some suggestions being made about establishing a designated shoot zone. There was talk about reduction of days of sale, reducing the amount of stands, meaning if there was 13 today, it was discussed that maybe we go down to 6. So which one of you 6 would no longer have a stand? These are things that I thought about. I said, well, why want to pit somebody against another, one nonprofit against another nonprofit? This is what came from the meeting from TNT. And knowing that that could not be the case, and I didn't want to have any of the nonprofits in our community fighting against what I want to be it. I've been here longer, no, I do more work than you do. I did some research, and I have 25 copies of it if you guys want it. This is grant funding for nonprofit organizations. There's 5 of them on this list that they grant to nonprofit organizations that fund nonprofits. And most of the nonprofits I looked at that are representing here tonight, even in the city, are eligible for these funds. I think we talked about our community development block grant. If you were here from the last meeting, I talked about having our city manager look at our community development block grant funding to look at how we can use those funds to implement to assist all of our individuals here in the community. I just want to make sure that we are not throwing out the baby with the bathwater, but we need to make sure. City of Carson location, we have oil refineries, vapors, fumes, we have all of this, and I think we've been lucky. We have been a lucky city to have not had something blow up in our community. We talked about the Dominguez Channel. We already don't want the air quality is bad, so we don't need to add on to that anymore. I am really at a crossroads because I know many fireworks have been in the community for many, many years. One of the individuals came before us and said 25 years or 40 years in the business, 25 years doing the fireworks stand. But there are other funding available. There's other funding available as far as how to get funds in this in the community, and that they are willing to support. I do a lot of support with many of you the nonprofits by doing as you do your food giveaway, your backpack giveaway, and I've been really supportive of that. I will say I'm still supportive, and if there's some concerns or something that's needed, I'm just a phone call away. And with that being said, I second the motion for the banning of the fireworks in the city of Carson.
Mayor, I'd like
Madam
to
Mayor?
make a substitute motion. I want to make a substitute motion. I'm third. Before you call the vote, I want to make a substitute
I was
motion.
queued up first.
Okay.
Then Arlene, and then you, Dr.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to offer a substitute motion. And this motion is to reject the vote that took place 2 weeks ago, to allow fireworks sales for the nonprofit organizations in Carson, and do a study to see if a vote of the people would be appropriate in the near future, meaning the next few years. And if there's sentiment in the community for a vote, we should have an election to decide this, not the 5 people on the city council.
Second.
Second. Madam Mayor, okay, there's a motion and a second. I'd like to speak under the motion when you're ready. Ready? We'll have discussion of the motion. You have to have discussion of the motion.
I second it.
Yes.
That's the substitute.
So,
Point of clarification.
are we
I'm sorry.
ready? Okay, great.
Madam Mayor? Yes. I just want to be clear. There are two live motions on the floor.
We have to vote on the substitute motion first.
Can I speak to the substitute motion first, or you
Sure.
want to let Arlene speak?
Well, it's up to the mayor.
Yeah, and that's what I want to, because Arlene is queued up, so I wanted to ask the mayor's permission to speak first. No, I mean, did you want Arlene to speak first? She's queued up.
Let him speak first and then you. Councilman Hitt.
Yes, so I'm speaking to
Yeah,
the
I'll
substitute.
speak third. You know, there's no problem what order we speak as long as we can speak. No, you have 5 minutes. I think you remember that 10 minutes ago we had a discussion about it. Please.
So I appreciate the overwhelming support tonight for the safe and sane fireworks. I recognize that we all share a common goal and common ground, cracking down on illegal fireworks. So in the spirit of finding common ground, I'd like to amend your substitute motion just a little bit, a friendly amendment.
So I'm sorry, you want to?
I want to add something to his substitute
Sure.
motion.
I mean, if he accepts it. Yes.
So I move to amend the city's firework ordinance to incorporate AB 1403, allowing us to collect funds for an enforcement program. Additionally, I request the city attorney to draft ballot language for the next citywide election, giving the council the option either to continue allowing the sale of safe and sane fireworks, or if the voters choose to vote against it, then we move forward towards the ban. I would like to take it to a vote of the people. Will you accept my amendment, Jim?
Madam Mayor, I need a point of clarification from the city attorney because what you said sounds like you want to go to a vote of the people unless the city council doesn't want to go to a vote of the people. So could the city attorney address that?
Can I clarify?
That would make a difference of whether or not I accept it as a friendly amendment or a hostile amendment.
Yeah, I'm not basing it on the city council. I'm basing it on the people. The people have the choice whether they want to ban it and not the city council.
Okay, so I would like either the city clerk or the maker of the motion or the city attorney to state the motion again.
I can state it again.
Okay, thank you.
When I say I move to amend the city's firework ordinance to incorporate AB 1403, allowing us to collect funds for an enforcement program. Additionally, I request that the city attorney draft ballot language for the next citywide election, giving the council the option to either continue allowing the sale of safe and sane fireworks. This is a question for the people. Or if they choose to vote against it, then we move toward the ban. But the people have the say.
So I will accept that as a modification of my amendment.
So,
City attorney.
And
so
since
essentially, it's a new substitute motion. So
well, we
you're-
don't allow new substitute motions on. You remember?
Well, I mean, I understood your substitute motion to be just to let it stand.
Well, it continues to stand until the next citywide election. So
Okay.
if that's clear, it continues. We continue to sell fireworks until the next citywide election, until the people either vote it down or they continue it. So it doesn't change the ordinance.
Okay, let me put it this way. If it means that we will continue sales for the next 2 years until we have the next municipal election in 2026, and then
That's what
the
it
new
means.
city council after 2026 makes the decision, I will accept it. Because I would like to see one council member removed from the city council so we can have a new council member so we can vote.
Now,
I'm just cutting it to the truth. Thank you.
I'm not into the politics. I just want to take it to the people. I'm not into the politics.
I think the people.
I like my chairmate. I'm not into the politics.
Right.
This isn't about politics. This is
Thank
about
you.
putting a tough decision in the hands of the people.
But
So that's not what I'm. I want to say this. That's not what I'm aiming for. I'm not aiming for it to be put against anybody. But a big decision like this rests, whether you look at that there was an overwhelming amount of support tonight from all of the people who were not against it, whether you look on the groups in Facebook who called all the city council out saying, why didn't you take it to a vote of the people? I'm just trying to put it in the people's hands. That way, at the end of the day, we can't say that we made you put us here. We'll let you make the decision. And if you choose to do it, that's what you choose to do. If you don't, we'll roll with it.
Councilwoman, are you speaking on the substitute?
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I will correct Cedric Hicks. I actually got 106 cities, and that's not including Orange County, that ban Safe and Sane. The cities that do allow it, and they're all within 8 miles, is Hawthorne, Linwood, Compton, and Carson. That is all within the 8 miles. So Carson is like ground zero. This is the place that Safe and Sane are sold and make a lot of money. We obviously are all talking about that. I know, because July 4th is one of my favorite holidays. I worked those stands, okay? And we made a lot of money, and that's what it was all about. Everybody in here that spoke talked about we depend on funding, we depend on the money, we depend on the finance. That's how we exist. I completely agree, and I get it, and I understand. So I'm going to go back to what I said a couple weeks ago. I've been a police officer for 35 years this year. My patrol area is Pacific Palisades. That is my car. I worked 8A1 for many years. I worked that area for 20 years. And on January 7th, I was there. I'm only going to talk about Pacific Palisades because that is my experience. I drove around, okay, in a patrol car in the Pacific Palisades. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the winds were 80 to 100 miles an hour. We had never seen that before. This is unprecedented, okay? Climate change is here. So for those of you who don't know what that is, that's what happened when you saw a tornado in Pico Rivera. That's climate change. When it snowed in Florida, it's climate change. These are events that have never happened before. They're happening now. So on January 7th, I saw the winds. It was dark. The embers, little tiny ones about the size of a pea, would hit our car. And if it landed on anything, it would spark a fire. And it was coming down from way up on the hill, straight down to the beach. There were palm trees within feet of the water, and they were on fire. So my division, West LA Division, my car, that's when we had to evacuate the people. And people had no idea how to do this because, again, it's unprecedented. So again, I'm only talking about Pacific Palisades. Okay, so I'm going to read. It is not an action item report. So for those of you who are following LA County Fire Department, the action item report is not completed yet. But I'm going to read the preliminary. Okay, so this is the Palisades fire. The Palisades fire is suspected to have been rekindling of a smaller fire that occurred on New Year's Eve, 1/1/25, possibly caused by the fireworks exacerbated by strong winds, 80 to 100 miles an hour, and dry conditions. So let me tell you about what smolder is. I walked over, I stepped on smolder. Smolder is just smoke. There is no fire. And you could step on it, and it's not really hot. I stepped on it. My shoes didn't burn. But when you have that coupled with winds, you will start a fire. That is how you start fires. So the preliminary report on how the Pacific Palisades fire is from the fire on 1/125, which is from fireworks.
Madam City
Okay,
Clerk,
those
your
are,
time up.
okay, so
133 left, Madam Mayor.
What do you have? Oh, she's official. Sunny says, you have 133? 126. Okay.
Okay, so I understand that we need to make money. Okay, so why don't we come up with a way to make money for these nonprofit organizations? Because I was there, I helped you out, without reminding us of the 12 people that died in the Pacific Palisades during that fire, without reminding us that 23,707 acres were burned, incinerated, down to just, it's not even there. And I was there. I am not telling you a story. I was there. It destroyed 6,837 structures, damaged 1,017 structures. Okay, we need to find a way to raise money without reminding us of what happened. Okay, so again, I'm not talking about what could happen, I'm talking about what happened. Okay, so thank you.
I'm going to call for the question.
I'm queued up to speak.
Calling for the question.
Well, I'm queued up. You look at the board, you'll see I'm queued up.
Call for the question.
I don't think you can stop a council member from speaking on a motion, Madam Mayor. I know you would like to, but I don't think you do.
And to stop debate, your motion is already on the floor. I call for the question. To stop debate.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. We're calling for the question to stop debate.
Madam Mayor, let's vote on Mike for the call the question, because there's already a motion on there. There's two motions. One's on the board, one's on the paper.
Okay, I'm calling for the question.
Okay.
That's what we're voting on now, to call for the question.
Yes, but vote, you want roll call vote, Madam Mayor? or you
Yes,
wanna
that's
just-
fine.
Councilmember Rojas?
Yes, present.
The motion
one are
on
we
the
doing?
floor is to call to question, which is to end debate. It was moved by Madam Mayor. It was seconded by Councilmember Hicks. We're doing a roll call vote. Councilmember Rojas?
Yes.
Councilmember Deere?
Obviously, very unfair. She let Hicks speak for over 5 minutes, Rojas speak for over 5 minutes, won't let me speak at all. Dictatorship is in the air, I'm afraid. So, no, my vote's no.
Okay, one yes, one no. Councilmember Hicks?
I did not speak more than 5 minutes.
Mine
was not, I did not speak for more than 5 minutes. I did not speak for more than 5 minutes, but
We're
yes.
just voting.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Madam City Attorney?
Yes, thank you, madam.
Can you put on the rules of decorum on the screen for everyone who may have missed it?
Madam City Attorney, she's letting a staff person speak and not an elected official. What city are we living in?
It is becoming a safety issue. So I am reminding
These
all
are
of
very
our
peaceful
guests
people in the
of
audience.
the rules of decorum for the council meeting.
Let me, because I know we need a supermajority to stop this debate. My remove my motion, and we're going to vote on the substitute motion. The substitute.
But Madam Mayor, I just want to make sure that everybody hears what our public safety supervisor was trying to say. We have rules of decorum that people should not be standing in the not hallway, aisles.
They must be
because
seated.
of fire safety issues. I think she was trying to be patient and hoping the item's going to end. But in the future, people will be asked to be removed if they stand in the aisles. Right now, we're going to proceed, but it's important that the residents understand the rules because
Okay.
of fire safety issues.
We're going to vote on the substitute motion, which was made by Councilman Deere. Is that the motion?
Yes, so the call to question motion failed due to inadequate votes. So the substitute motion was moved by Councilmember Deere, was seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Hilton. And we're going to do,
We're now on the
Substitute
motion.
motion.
Okay, I'd like to speak on the motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
okay, 1 second.
Okay, a question for
so
Mr. John
Councilmember,
Kelly.
just-
Would you please come to the podium?
I don't have to let John Kelly, our public comments has ended.
I have a question for him.
I'm
so I
sorry.
don't care if you
I don't have to
up
let
or
him.
not.
I'm sorry. He's not speaking tonight. Your question.
Madam City Attorney, can the mayor choose who speaks and who doesn't speak? What country are we in?
I think, yes, the
Are
presiding
we in Russia?
office- the
Are we
presiding
in North Korea?
You
The
might be.
presiding officer can control the rules of the meeting. If there is a speaker that you would like to ask questions of, they can talk during public comment. If public comment has ended, they can wait until the end to speak on non-agendized items.
I asked to speak under public comment because she was giving extra time over the 20 minutes, and then she said, wait until there's a motion on the floor. So that's a, so what's going on in the city of Carson? What is happening behind the scenes in the city of
Mr.
Carson? That's the question
We're
tonight.
going to vote on the substitute motion. If Mr. Kelly wants to speak after, he can speak under non, if he wants to.
You have to allow Councilman Deere to have his 5 minutes, but you
Yes.
don't have to allow speakers to come back up to the
We're
podium.
not, it's closed.
So I want some information from the fireworks distributor. Madam City Attorney, you're saying that
Public
I
comment has
cannot obtain
closed.
that information at a public meeting?
It's closed, Mr. Deere.
Is
Now
that
you
the
have,
case? Okay. Well, first of all, stopping safe and sane fireworks does not address the issue of illegal fireworks. Mark my words, if you strip the nonprofits of their ability to do charitable work in the community because of a whim, we are in a situation where you're still going to have illegal fireworks. Mark my words, July of 2025, this year, you will see illegal fireworks all over Carson, Long Beach, Harbor Gateway, Wilmington, San Pedro, Torrance, Gardena. There will be illegal fireworks all over those areas. So I urge everyone to vote yes on the substitute motion, because that will allow the people of Carson to make the decision, and it's their right to do that. Thank you.
I want to remind our councilperson that we did put it on the ballot as a consensus vote. The residents of Carson said they didn't want it. The council at that time said it was just a consensus vote, and that's why it's still here. That was a vote of the people already. Now, I see a lot of you here, but what I don't see is there's 98,000 residents in this city of Carson. There's 12 or 13 nonprofits. So I'm not going to be swayed because someone told everybody to show up. I'm doing what I think is best for the city. Okay, it was on the agenda. It was put to the people. The people said, we don't want it. And the council said, oh, well, it was just an advisory. We're going to do it anyway. So what is the difference? And so there, you want to vote on the substitute motion?
Well,
How much time does he have left?
Measure J
4
in
minutes and 8
1996, the people voted 60% in favor of having safe and sane fireworks in Carson. I want to teach you a little lesson in history and the truth. Thank you.
The history teacher that can't pass the CBEST, huh?
I passed the CBEST, but you never took it. And I doubt whether you would.
Substitute motion. We're voting on the substitute motion. Was made by
Madam
Councilman
Mayor,
Deere.
the substitute motion was made by Councilmember Deere, was seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Hilton. Are we doing a roll call vote? Because what's on the board is the first.
You can do a roll call.
Okay. Councilmember Rojas,
No.
Councilmember Deere,
Yes, save safe fireworks.
Councilmember Hicks,
Yes.
On the substitute motion?
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton,
Yes.
Mayor Davis Holmes. Madam Mayor, the motion carries 3-2.
Let me remind, my election was not contingent upon the fireworks. My election, I won this election by over 8,000 votes. The first time in the history of the city. It wasn't everybody in this room that voted. But most importantly, my residents that are not here tonight also called in the city. And I told them not to show up, okay? So is if everybody in this room does not vote for me, I will still have won the seat as mayor of the city of Carson. 8,000, 27,000, the most in the history of the city of Carson. And our funding balance is more than it's ever been in the city of Carson. So I'm proud to stand on my record. And I told you before, you're not gonna like everything that I vote for. But know that I am, and I will be your mayor. And I will be your mayor. And if nobody in this room votes, if I take 1,000 votes off, if I take 2,000, I'm still gonna be the mayor. And as long as I want to run, I will be the mayor. Thank you. Thank you. The motion that was made has failed.
The initial motion.
The initial, we got to vote. We
It
still got to
passed.
vote on the main motion.
Oh, we got to vote on the main motion.
It passed. The substitute motion passed, right?
It passed. Yes, it did. 3-2.
Vote.
So the substitute motion, but for the main motion, that superseded the substitute motion?
Supersedes it.
Yes.
Or that was an amendment to the substitute motion?
So the substitute motion was to let the ordinance stand, bring it back to add permit fees or whatever the
AB
new
1403.
AB 14 allows, and then next year send it to the voters at the next general election. Send it to the voters so they decide if they want to have safe and sane fireworks or not. That's the substitute
That's
motion.
Then I need to change my vote to a no. Because the way that it was stated, I thought it was a substitute to the original motion.
No. No.
Madam Mayor?
Rescind it.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, let's go for a revote.
The addition came from MPT, not Mr. Deere. So we have two things going on.
Okay.
There were three. There was actually
Everybody,
three.
let me just clarify.
Come on, it's not that
Let me just
difficult.
clarify so the record's clear. There was a motion made by the mayor and seconded by Councilwoman Rojas,
No, Hicks.
Councilman Hicks, to approve the second reading, which would ban the
Yes.
safe and sane fireworks.
Yes.
Then Councilman Deere made a substitute motion to allow the continuance of the sales of it and to vote no on the second reading. Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem asked for a friendly amendment to the substitute motion that would do that essentially. It would kill the second reading, allow the sale of the fireworks to remain in place, but his friendly amendment was that next year at the next general election, it goes to the voters and the voters decide the issue, and that the ordinance comes back to add the AB 1403 fees. So when you have a substitute motion, you vote on the substitute, and Councilman Deere accepted the friendly amendment. So we're voting on the substitute motion, which would reject the ban, and it would continue it the way it has been, and then it would go to the voters at the next general election.
So I got it now, so I want to withdraw my vote.
Okay, so you can do a motion for
A
reconsideration.
motion for reconsideration.
And
You got to have a second.
Second.
and is there 3 yeses to
No,
have you?
I'm voting no.
I'm voting no too.
Yes.
Yes.
Voted yes.
Yes.
For
So
the
you can
first.
reconsider. So now you can change your vote.
You got that, City Clerk? You got it?
So your vote is a no now. Is that
Yes.
what? Okay.
And now we're voting on the
The main motion.
So then the substitute motion fails. Now you go and vote on the main motion.
Main motion.
And the main motion, what I read in Councilman Hicks. Can we do a vote, a roll call? Well, it's on the screen.
Yeah, this is the original motion from
From the
like
original item.
45 minutes ago.
45 minutes ago.
We can vote now, Madam City Clerk?
Yes, Madam Mayor, you can vote on screen.
On my main motion?
Yes.
My motion.
And I'm just waiting on Madam Mayor's vote and Councilmember Rojas's vote.
Original item
The
30.
original motion.
That I made.
The original motion would approve the second reading, which would adopt the ordinance.
Okay, Madam Mayor, the motion carries 3-2.
Thank you. There is, thank you. You got lost. Oh, you should have said something. No, that's what I. We're going to take a 5-minute recess.
So it combined it.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And now that we've had a wonderful meeting, let's call for the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and properly second. Any conversation? If not, please cast your vote. You just. Yes. Oh. He's on the phone. Did you vote, Cedric? Okay.
Madam Mayor, your vote's still not recorded.
There it is.
Okay, it's unanimous, motion carries.
The consent calendar.
Move the consent calendar, Madam Mayor.
It's been moved.
And
Properly second. With the exception of item number 22. We're going to continue that. Is
And
that
didn't we
correct?
do 17?
We did 17 already.
Yeah. So the motion is without those two. So-
And item 20, please.
We need to pull 22.
And 20 we're going to pull?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to pull item 20. So items 20, 22, 17 has already been heard. So approval of the consent calendar with the exception of items 20, well, 17 we already voted on, and 22.
And 23, pull.
I have a point of order, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Item 20, is it pulled or continued?
We're going to pull it.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Thank you.
I want to pull item number 23.
Okay. The consent approved with the exception of items number 22, 20, 22, 23, and 17 has already been heard. Please cast your vote.
Okay, it's unanimous, the motion carries.
Item number 20, staff.
Sure. Thank you, Madam Mayor. This item is to consider Resolution 25-037, approving the successor memorandum of understanding between the City of Carson and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, better known as ASME, Full-Time Union Local 809, for your consideration. At this particular time, due to this particular item, Madam Mayor, there are a few items that the union would like to discuss with the Human Resources Department. So in lieu of the approval of the MOU, the union has agreed to tentatively agree, or better known as TA, if we could, this particular MOU and bring this back for full ratification at the next meeting. But it would be up for your approval for tonight as a tentative agreement versus just the ratification of the MOU.
Okay.
So we'd like to substitute the consideration of the resolution as an approval for the MOU to approving the tentative agreement of 809.
So the motion would be to approve it as a TA?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Second. Oh, is it a main motion? I'd like to make that motion that we approve it.
I'll second it for you.
Okay. It's been moved and properly second. Any conversation? Dr. Hilton.
Madam Mayor, I just want to applaud our staff for coming, Josh and his team, and Robert Lennox and Will, for making sure that our employees, they come to this tentative agreement, and I hope that we'll be able to cement it really soon, and the people will be able to go out and do what they want to do, because they're great workers. They're the front line of our organization. And they are out there doing the work, making sure our streets are paved, walls have graffiti off of them, making sure people answer. This is incredible, and I'm excited about being able to get across the finish line.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, cast your vote.
Okay, the motion carries.
Okay, item number 23.
22.
No, 22 is continued until the first meeting in May, I do believe. First meeting in April. We continued that item to the first meeting in April.
Wasn't it item 17?
Item 17 we heard already.
Yeah. Where are my notes? Oh, didn't we? Oh, I see. Yeah, go ahead.
Item 23.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just wanted to get a report from staff so the residents can know what's happening.
Sure. Thank you, Councilmember Hicks. So this particular item is, excuse me, is to consider and approving a contract with Ed's Fencing Incorporated to replace the tennis court fencing at Dolphin Park, the All Abilities Park. So this is a court that is regularly used by our residents, those tennis courts, for both recreational and competitive play. And in light of their heavy utilization, it's imperative that these courts are aesthetically pleasing, but more importantly, safe for all the users. Staff has determined that the existing fencing is outdated, worn, and deteriorating, therefore posing a potential safety hazard and diminishing the overall appearance of this amenity in the park itself. After careful evaluation, our staff is proposing that the full replacement of the fencing. The scope of work includes installation of a chain link fence, horizontal poles, and necessary hardware to ensure a durable and long-lasting solution. This particular recommendation for your approval, Councilman Hicks, as you stated or requested, this is basically what's happened. And we're hoping that tonight, Madam Mayor, as well as you and the council, will be able to approve this so we can see the improvements needed at the tennis courts there at Dolphin.
I have another question in regards to Dolphin Park, along with the tennis court fencing. I know that we've been looking at pickleball at other sites within our city and wanting to make sure, was this one of the conversions going to be with pickleball as well?
Mr. Councilman, yes, this is one of the sites that we will be having a pickleball court. Currently, we have four courts at Dolphin Park, and we're adding an additional pickleball court. It will not be part of the actual tennis courts because this is one of our parks where tennis is very, very heavy in this particular area. And so we don't want to take that away from the tennis players, but we are putting together a court that will be parallel to the actual tennis court.
Okay, thank you for that. With that, I move approval of proposed public works agreement with Ed's Fencing, Inc. for a total not to exceed contract sum of $59,960 and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement following approval as to form by the city attorney.
Second. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. MPT got it. He's quick.
Quick tonight.
It's been moved and properly second. Please cast your vote.
And while we're voting, Madam Mayor, I want to compliment the staff for bringing this forward to us as well. It's really important that we keep a good condition of our athletic facilities. Thank you.
The motion carries.
Item number 28 is a public hearing on the 2025 Housing and Urban Development HUD.
We did that one.
I have to open the public hearing, close it, and continue it.
No, you
I
opened
don't?
it and it's open until
did?
May 6th.
Oh, it's open to May. We did 28? Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Item 29. Consider local uncontested appointments to the boards, commissions, and so forth. Everything is good. We have anyone?
Good right now.
Madam Mayor, all is good at this end.
All is good?
Yes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
may I just make a comment about CCBs?
Yes.
There are still dozens
Of what?
of people who were reappointed at the onset of this new term, and their certificates are just taking up a lot of space in my office. So I just want to urge the staff of these commissions. I'm happy to go to the meetings to do oaths there. I know there's some complaints about attendance and quorum, but it's not for lack of people. They just need to come in and take their oaths. So if they're going to the meetings, then I can go to the meetings. Maybe that's easier. I just want to figure out the best way to make that happen. So they can all have their certificates and be official. So there's still quite a few, like 50 on the desk.
I think the staff that's in charge of these, you should put them together and have them to go, because they're attending these commission meetings, and just give them to them to hand out at the commission meeting.
That's fine. I can do that.
Yeah, just,
I'll hand them out this week.
okay. And this, up to them, it's off your desk.
Love that.
Thank you. So we don't have any
Appointments?
appointments at this time. Thank you. Oh, you're just listening to me. I love it. Item number 29, item number 30 is a second reading and adoption of orders number 20. We did 30? Oh, shucks. You guys got me so okay, item number 31 is a second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2506, approving an amendment to the 2040 General Plan Update and Environmental Impact Report with respect to Development Agreement number 2-24 and Development Agreement number 2-24, an amendment to the Development Agreement number 2721 between the City of Carson and 21611 Perry Street, LLC, for proposed 62-unit residential townhouse condominium development as alternate to a self-storage facility at that location.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I will move approval of this item, the second reading and by title only with the full reading waived. And I don't think I need to read the entire statement because the mayor did, and so move forward on that.
It's been moved and properly second. Any further comment? Cast your vote.
It's unanimous, Madam Mayor. Motion carries.
Okay, next we have memorial adjournments.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. These are the names that I received. Dwayne Wiggins, Emeld Melly Eves, Feli Aranda Kendari, Bienvenida Tamoya Hovelanos.
Anyone else? Councilwoman.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Also, Dr. Lennox's mother-in-law.
Yes.
Oh, she's on.
Thank you. Any further? Any more? MPT, Bishop.
Yes, let's bow our heads. Father, you heard us tonight with our requests for these families. We pray that you would bless each and every one of them. Special prayer to Dr. Lennox and his family as he helps navigate his wife through this season. We pray that you would bless them and encourage and strengthen them. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Council members' request to add future agenda items. Oral communications, council members.
Oh, should I go? Should I cue up?
Councilman Hicks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I do have just an announcement on Friday, April the 18th. At Callis Park, we're doing a food giveaway. Fresh fruits and vegetables will be at Callis Park at 1000 East to 20th Street. The time of the event is 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Callis Park. This is in conjunction with Venice Family Clinic, who have been providing services to the Carson for some time, and they're just giving back to our community. Carson residents will be prioritized first come, first serve while supplies last. If you need to get more information, please contact my council aide, Cac Lee, at 562-578-4679. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor, I'm having a town hall meeting on March 27th at Veterans Park, 6:30 p.m., and the public is invited. Thank you.
Councilwoman. You haven't queued up.
Oh, I thought it was cute. You must have.
Councilwoman.
Yes, thank you. I just want to share that I attended the National League of Cities in Washington, D.C. I met with our Congresswoman Nanette Berrigan, and we discussed some funding for our Emergency Operations Center here in the city of Carson. So fingers crossed on that. And she does know we are preparing for World Cup 26 and LA 28 Olympics. So an emergency operations center with the advanced technology would be something we would need for the world to witness when they come. So thank you.
Thank you. I want to announce that, do we have the State of the City flyer? Our annual State of the City is this Thursday, 11 a.m. at the Carson Community Center. It's on the board, should be running. We have already we already have a RSVP'd over 700 people that will be in attendance, but still come. We stop where? City manager says stop. We're gonna keep rolling because we have an overflow room. We have an overflow room. Okay, so it's the 20th, 11 a.m. at the event center, and this State of the City is our guiding tool for the next 4 years as to what we're going to accomplish. We're going to be global, and I'm going to be challenging our business partners to. This is just not a city event. It's how they can become an important role, a part of the state of the city, and moving the city forward for the next 4 years. And I do want to thank, again, I have to keep thanking because somebody came and told me I wasn't going to be mayor now. All my voters out there. And tell them thank you, and don't be dismayed or discouraged. Your mayor's not going anywhere as long as you go to the polls and votes, regardless of what somebody says on this disc. I am your mayor. 26,000 strong. Thank you very much. And with that, make sure you come to the State of the City address. I'd like to thank my colleagues. This was a rough meeting. It wasn't rough, too bad, because what time is it now? It was pretty good. It's 8:15. I think 8:50. I'm going to get to you. I got you. I've got your hand. I was looking for Georgia Brown.
She left. She wanted to. Miss Brown said it was too late for her to be out, but you know why she was here. She wanted to talk about 24-hour fitness. So that's what she wanted to talk
Her
about.
card says 24-hour fitness, and she is complaining about the cleanliness of that facility. We've sent letters over and the whole 9 yards. We'll send another one. but that is privately ran, and the only thing that we can do is let them know our uncomfort with the facility.
Madam Mayor,
I'm
she's
still
com-
talking.
I have a question for
I'm
you.
still talking. I would also like staff to reach out to the county sanitation district, and I would like, I mentioned it earlier, to have them come before us and do a presentation update on the Dominguez Channel. We haven't forgotten about that. There were some plans that were laid out, and promises made, and promises have not been kept, and there has been no dialogue since then. Do you have some information, JR? Okay. But is it Public Works? Yeah. It's not Senate Public Works, yes. So make sure that he's here or represented, that he can give us an update, because it's not gonna go away, and we wanna make sure that the promises that were made, that were kept, even if I have to, I'm probably gonna reach out to the county supervisor and see what she has. Then I have Georgia Brown left, we already spoke that. Okay. And Dr. Hilton is queued up. No, Arlene is first. I still have you queued up. No? Yes. Okay, you good.
I kept
MPT.
getting knocked out of the queue for some whatever reason. On April 8th at 6 o'clock, we're having a town hall meeting at Stevenson Park. So for those who are part of the Mighty District 1, 6 o'clock, Stevenson Park will be there. 6:30, Stevenson Park will be there.
And I want to say we had an awesome groundbreaking yesterday, and the developers here, who has just they're just going to put Carson on the map. Is it 1,200 units that's been built on 27 acres of the Imperial Avalon site? I hear there are some residents that want to come back, but I just want to thank you again publicly. That is a project that I am so proud of and so pleased that we have a developer. I was excited to see the VP of, what is it, Lenore Properties. He was out yesterday. It was a good event, nice turnout, and kudos to the Planning Commission and to the staff and to JR and Saeed. I know you guys have pushed a little bit, but this is going to be one of our great projects, and it'll help us reach our arena numbers, right? A little bit, maybe. Yes, it'll help us. So I'm so excited about that. We're we're developing the city. So thank you for that. And Councilman Deere, you still haven't queued up. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm not queued up any longer. I had some information on 24-hour fitness, but I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you. Now we're gonna have. I apologize, you guys had to wait. It was one of those meetings. But look what time it is. I have Brandy here and Luce. You guys are coming together, or you have separate items? Come on up, both of you.
And then we have some of our supporters from the task force with us. Can they join us at the podium as well? Would that be okay?
Which task force?
The task force that we have for the Disabilities Commission, which we provided that. We worked on the grocery store, and now we're working on.
Oh, you're working on this? Okay.
Yes. So I would like for you to see who they are, if that's okay, Mayor.
Of course.
All right, task force, if you would come and join us. Come on, Mr. Randy Brown, even though we on different sides of the firework band. He wanted it, I didn't want it. But that's still my buddy. And Patricia Thompson, Sharon, we have Luz. Here, you want to come up or you don't have to? So I want to say good evening, Mayor Lula Davis Holmes, Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Jawan Hilton, my Councilman Cedric Hicks, although I knew you was just going to come through in the clutch for us on this firework band, but it's all good. Councilman Jim Deere and Councilwoman Arlene Rojas. I feel that it's important for me to follow up, especially when I come to the podium and I bring concerns that we have, to also say thank you when you follow through for me. So I want to say thank you. I just received word from our city attorney, Sonny, that in the private session, you guys voted to make sure that my windshield was, I'm not supposed to say that, okay. but I still want to say thank you so much for that. Well, I think that's important, right? You got to, because if you come up here, there was a response. Also, Mr. Whitaker's office did get back to me, so I appreciate that, Mr. Whitaker, for your office getting back to me, sir. I do want to speak in regards to the Disabilities Commission. Mayor, I don't know if this is an exchange, but we did provide our strategic plan to City Manager David Roberts. We also presented to the Human Relations Committee. They were waiting for their next meeting to be sure that there were more people there to give input on whether they could handle that or not. We are here asking if you would consider just a smaller commission, maybe of 3 individuals. I know you were saying that it may be good, but what we've learned is that we want to have individuals who have disabilities that are on the Disabilities Commission to provide input on that. And if we place them with the Human Relations Committee, it kind of drowns out their efforts, because now they're working on initiatives with the Human Relations Committee as well as the Disabilities Commission. So if you could provide a follow-up on that, we would appreciate that. We also work together to create the strategic plan that we provided to the city, so that you know there's some pointers that we have and there's some things that we are looking at in interest of the city.
Okay, I'm gonna have a request, because you have been here. I'm not saying we're gonna have a commission, but Mr. City Manager, these council aides, they work for you. All of our council aides have a commission except Councilman Deers. I would like he does?
That's not true, yeah.
Okay, what, he has one? Okay, well, let him have 2, because the girls are stretched out. I would like him to work with Brandy on coming up with something if possible. Mr. Deere, would you be opposed to that?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. And then we're not looking at a commission right now, but I don't want you to feel that I'm not listening to you. It's just that I think we need to start talking about looking at people that can be on this committee as a part of what commission, because I do feel the staff in the city is so overtaxed right now. And to give it just what it needs, I think hands-on approach with my colleague over here, Councilman Deere, and his field rep, you can start laying a foundation for what you're looking for. And then from that point, we could say what it is that we're going to do.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
Okay, is that okay?
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that very much.
Okay.
And it sounds to me, I know that I'm not putting your words in your mouth, but you may consider like a separate committee under a commission, if you will?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
A separate committee up under a commission, so that you just do what you want, and then they'll do what you don't have to be involved in all that other stuff.
I appreciate
that. I think
that.
that's where the misunderstanding came in. If it's under the Human Relations, they're not involved in that. It's just like an ad hoc up under that committee. And you guys have your meetings and lay out get your members. We'll look at the members and look at the bylaws and who's going to sit on that commission, because on that committee.
The committee,
up under the umbrella of. So I'm going to rely on.
Madam Mayor, I volunteer KW as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and KW.
You all right with that, KW? Thank you very much for that.
So you have 2.
Okay.
And you have a councilman.
Yes. Thank you. You okay with that, Luz? Okay, thank you very kindly. Last thing, the nonprofit. So we just had a big heated debate. I do not want to go back to that because I didn't speak in open comments. And I do understand there's people that sit on both sides who oppose it and who are for it. And I get why you don't want to hear the loud noise. Some of y'all in ages where y'all just don't want to hear all that ruckus, so I get it. However, the nonprofits are at the forefront. And I've heard several times about how we can get things together for the nonprofits to support them. Ms. Diane Thomas, in her absence, offered to start a committee. I'm willing to help her with that, so that we can figure out how we can provide resources to the nonprofits to help them in the area in which they are seeing a decline in what they've raised.
Yeah, there's money out there that can be raised, but you have to just ask for it and put together the right paperwork. And like I told one committee, you worked 7 days, 14 hours a day, and you only made $6,000. I'm concerned about that.
If I may, Mayor, because I have a nonprofit.
It's not about money. It's about other things.
I get that. My only concern.
But I don't want to revisit this.
I know you don't.
Okay.
My concern is that I have a nonprofit, and most of these grants we've applied for, it's not as simple as just applying for the grant and getting the. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
You can't do cold canvassing. Cold canvassing don't work.
Well,
I'll talk to you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That's all my comments. Have a good night.
We have a who?
Luce.
Hi, Luce. How
Hello.
are you?
Luce.
Luce.
Good evening. I first want to just say thank you for allowing us to create the subcommittee. And I just want to say that it is important to have this because we need to work with all the commissions, in fact. As I sat here and I listened to everything that's the different projects, in my mind, through my perspective, I'm looking at everything through the lens of people with disabilities. So every project that you have and you create, I have to question, is there somebody there with the perspective of my community? Because if not, that's problematic. And so I thank you for creating this subcommittee. I hope that we have great fruits that come out of this and that we do connect with the various commissions, which is why it was so important for me to make sure that it was a separate entity because you're talking about a whole umbrella. There's, it covers everything, public safety, education, et cetera. So I just want to thank you. And then second, I just want to humbly say, as I was sitting there, moving forward, I know it was a tough meeting. It was quite the experience for me. As we had the two things, we had the rules of decorum that you asked for the public to be reminded of. One, I guarantee you that over 50% of the people here couldn't necessarily access that. I know I couldn't because it was too small. And the public that I was seeing, a lot of them were seniors. They don't have to be disabled, but the older you get, the small gets smaller and the dark gets darker. So just putting that into your consideration. And then finally, with all due respect, if we're talking about decorum, can we all keep that in mind, yourselves included? What was displayed tonight, frankly, made me a little sad because you guys are here as elected officials and representatives of our community. You guys need to lead from the front and lead by example. So I have great respect for all of you, but I also have great expectations. To whom much is given, much is expected. So I do have expectations of how you should all conduct yourselves, not just us, the public. And I say that with all due respect. Thank you.
Thank you. And Luce, we read that before the rules of decorum. It's read over, so you don't even have to read it. I read it for them earlier at the beginning of every meeting. It's over a speaker to everyone. So some people were here and some were not.
Yeah,
But at the beginning, at the beginning of every meeting, that's how we start off. Rules of decorum.
Okay, well, but it is, I'm going to add to that. Like, for example, the agenda. If you could have one or two agendas that are larger print, because I understand not everybody has issues like I do, but there's a few of us who do. And if you have just one or two copies of a larger print, that would be helpful too. So, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else that we need to discuss? Well, if not, staff, any comments? This meeting is adjourned. Who? What?
Let me get out of here. You want me to do it?
If you want to.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yes, we're going to reconvene. For Mr. Leslie.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, as well to the staff and to the council body as well. Real quick, this meeting was absolutely unnecessary. I kind of played out a little bit. The audacity of the council member, Mr. Deere, when he was the mayor, is like this chaos and disruption and stuff have been there. And it's enough of this stuff, enough of it. And for you to be inciting from that seat up there, just stop it. I've had enough years of this type of stuff, so just stop it. So with that said, one of the reasons why I was here real quick to see exactly, since they're trying to abolish the EPA in the various states right now, we're trying to see exactly what type of impact it's going to have on your environmental impact reports with development going forth, or have that change, or would it impact the local ordinance for them to, in other words, to produce a EPA for the necessary type of ordinance and stuff that they need to do for the welfare of the safety and health and of the city itself. And two, and lastly, it's like if most of these people was here when I spoke on Project 2025, and knowing what the impact was coming down from them on a national level to their local level, we wouldn't be probably be in this situation that we're in right now. Because I say this very clearly, many people were saying, or some people were saying at the same time, saying, well, Project 2025 is not going to happen because people are not going to be believing in that crazy stuff or whatever. By the same token, the other people say, let's pray on it. As well as the minister there, he can tell you in James 2:17, it says, prayer without work is dead. Yep. You see. So, if you don't sit there and actually confirm it and believe it and trust it and want to do something with it, I've been doing this stuff for too many years, is because I not only pray on it, I still try to act upon it. So I'm saying to you right now, let's stop being complacent. It's time for everybody on deck right now. There's too many things coming down, happening from this nation, this state, and what's going to happen to the cities with this crazy stuff going on around us. So stay tuned, be aware of what's happening here. Have a good evening. Thank you.
I was going to say, Mr. Leslie, we did our James 2:17. California, we did what we were supposed to do.
Yes, California
Can't talk
did
about
it.
everybody else.
California did it. So, the other people got to get on board. That's why I've been trying to keep the people in the Midwest and in the southern states, they need to get on board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie. The meeting is adjourned. Okay, come on up. We're going to reconvene. Again, anyone else? This is the last speaker.
Did you get a card?
I guess no one else.
And I gave them all back, so you have 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Okay, I agree with everything everyone just said.
What's your name?
Sherry Hodges.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi. I am disappointed in the decorum that you've all shared tonight. I'm probably the elder of all of you. It's mom telling you to grow up, be good, love one another, and listen to one another and not continue to interrupt one another. And you guys know who you are. But I wasn't going to say anything, and it really frustrated me to no end this meeting. And I knew you weren't going to call on me.
You did?
Mm-hmm. I expected not to be called. So anyhow, I want to know about the Browning Field. Is it still going on? Is it being built? Is something happening to the field? Is the mall still going in? And if so, are we still dealing with Phoenix, I believe it is? And are they going to continue with their trucks, a mobile home house away from our driveway, having trucks coming in and out 1.5 minutes per truck? And how are we going to get out of our mobile homes and into the street and drive and go to the areas that we need to go, not including all of the city of Carson and all the surrounding cities using the local streets, plus possibly Costco coming in, the Figueroa Business Park across the street, all these other businesses that are in empty fields in the area. The traffic is horrible now. A truck comes in, 2 trucks come in, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes to hop on the 110 freeway going south. As it is, you guys have created this mess. And I expect you guys to figure out how to clean it up. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone else? Going once, twice, three times? No, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.